welcome back to my channel. Today's look is very unusual for me. I never do greys, I never do cool toned looks, but let's step out of the comfort zone, and I decided to do a full face of Makeup Revolution. So if you would like to see what I have on my face, how I achieved this look, then just keep on watching. Let's start off with the prep. I'm just taking some tape that I'm going to stick on my eye in form of a guide. This is just so it's easier for me. I'm going to help myself out, because why not? This is always a little bit more difficult. This is a little bit higher. And now I've got my tape on. Feel like a drag queen when they use tape to... I'd want that one day. As I was gathering all the products that I needed, I realized I have a lot of Revolution products, so why not make it a full face of Revolution tutorial as well. To prime my lids, I'm going to use Conceal and Hydrate. Ideally, I would want to use the Conceal and Define. I do like that concealer a little bit more, but I don't have it. Let's just go with this. It's extremely creamy, so I'm not going to use a lot. I don't want it to crease. I'm actually really excited for this makeup look. I had a dream about it last night. For my eyeshadow today, I will be using the Revolution Alexis Stone collaboration. This is the Instinct palette, I want to say. Yeah, it says that on the front. It's Instant palette. Anyway, as you can probably guess, I'm going to focus on the middle row. You know, the lightest grey, the second grey, third grey, and then black. And that's kind of the order I'm using them in. So I'm going to take a flat packer brush and dip into the first grey shade, the lightest one. And because my concealer is still wet, let me just pat that out, because I did crease a little bit. I'm now going to set my mobile lid with that lightest grey, all the way from my tape onto my mobile lid to the very inner corner. Once I have that done, I'm going to take a blending brush and also dip into that lightest grey shade, and I'm going to start to blend this into my crease. So I want this to have a nice fade up to my brow. From there, because this is a blending brush, I'm slowly blending upwards. I actually took a little bit too much, so I'm taking a clean blending brush and I'm going over the blending area. I don't want this eyeshadow to be too close to my brow. Alright. And then with the same packer brush, I'm going to pick up the darker grey, so the second one down. They're actually not that different, the first two. There is a significant difference between the next one though. I'm taking the third grey down, and by wiggling my brush along my lash line, I'm going to make a liner effect, like a smoked out liner effect. And at first it might seem you haven't put anything there. It's because they are like blending as you're applying them. But that's what you want. Makes it very, very easy. I'm going to take that blending brush and blend one more time. And now I'm going to take a pencil brush and the black. I want to tap this off. I'm going to do the same thing as I just did, but very, very gently. And I'm not putting my black too high up. Wiggle the brush, just let it do its work. I'm being very, very gentle. If you want to be more precise, you can use a angled or a liner brush, but then you would have to use a blending brush to blend it out, to smoke it. I'm actually using a blending brush to blend this in anyway. To really get that very intense black, almost gel-like look with a shadow, I'm going to take an angled brush. I'm dipping into the black. I'm taking some of my Jake Jamie Tropical Quench Essence Spray and I'm spraying my brush. Don't want to spray it too much. It is in my eyeshadow, but you can kind of foil it. It'll stick on better. Very close to my lash line. But again, I want this to be like smoky. So I'm using that pencil brush with some black to really blend this in. And then my fluffy blending brush, because I don't want a harsh line. I want it to look smoky. So it's easier just to kind of build it gently. I'm using a third grey, blend this black in. Jesus. I'm gonna go along the lash line again to get it real black. If you're scared to foil this shadow, you can always use a black pencil and smudge that. I'm gonna take my tape off to see if I did the right shape. I need to wipe my under eye area, but I'm going to do my other eye in the meantime, and then we can carry this tutorial on. I'll be right back. Okay, I actually did my brows as well, and I popped in a black liner in my top and bottom waterline. Let's move on to the base very briefly and then we'll finish off the eyes. For my foundation today, I want to get best of both worlds. So I'm using Conceal and Define and Conceal and Hydrate. You already know what's coming next. I'm going to bronze with my matte base concealer in 13.5. If you need any more pointers on how to use this, I'm going to leave a video where I explain everything down in the description box and in the cards on the screen. I'm going to use the Revolution Conceal and Hydrate Concealer to highlight my under eye. I'm intrigued by this newest concealer, kind of want to try it out, want to try and wear it as a foundation. What do you think? Let me know down in the comments below. And I'm going to set my under eye with the Revolution Translucent Baking Powder. I'm going to contour the tiniest little bit, and for that I'm using my trusty Revolution Pro HD Powder Contour Palette. Mouthful. Let's take some of these contour shades. I always like to mix and match. Swirl my brush in some of them. And I'm going to start on my forehead. Don't like to contour my forehead too much. Prefer it to be bronzed. But this is why I love this palette, because you can't kind of go wrong with this. Obviously contouring my cheekbones a little bit. And by little bit, I mean a lot. I can be very sculpted today. This is a dramatic look. I'm not certain about blush, so I'm going to leave it. It might be my last step. Let's highlight though. And I'm going to use my Revolution Self palette. And you've guessed it, I'm going to use the shade, my favourite. I know I've been using it a lot, but it's a good highlighter. If they were to come out with singles, I would definitely get that shade. It's like my favourite highlighter ever, for everything, for every occasion. We've got the base done, let's go back to the eyes. However, before I do that, I want to clean my lips. I'm going to start with the packer brush that I used to set my lid with. I'm going to take that and use the tip of it in the darkest grey. So the third shade down in that middle row. And I'm going to wiggle it along my lower lash line. Like I said earlier, and as you can probably see, I have black liner in my waterline, and then I'm going to kind of merge the two, smudge that liner, and now I've got that somewhat smudged. I'm going to take the brush I used to clean the edges with, so for like the lightest grey right here, I'm going to take the lightest grey, so the first shade in the middle, and then kind of put that on top and really blend this. And then with that pencil brush, you want to kind of join the upper lid with the lower lid. I didn't pick up any more shadow. This has the black in it, and I'm just making sure the ends meet. And you know what? The only thing missing for me is a highlight in the inner corner. I don't have a white in this palette, so let's try this. I'm going to take the palette that I used to contour with, and it does include a very fair shade. Maybe I'll be able to highlight with this. Kinda. I gotta blend it in. But it definitely brightened. Okay, for my mascara today, I'm using Mascara Revolution. And then for my lashes, I'm always using these Smokey PL. I have no idea what to wear for my lips, and I most certainly don't have a lipstick from Revolution. I don't think I do anyway. Let's try this. This is L'Oreal Ultra Matte Liquid Lipstick Les Chocolates Ginger Bomb. It's very warm, but I think it'll kind of like look interesting. It'll match my jumper, but it's gonna highlight the smokiness of the eye. I love to smell this. Like, it makes me want to eat it. That's how good it smells. I really like the formula of this lipstick as well. Sorry about this, but yeah, I thought it'll be worth mentioning what I've got on my lips. Alright you guys, so here it is. This is my full face of Makeup Revolution Super Smoky Cool Toned look. Who said you can't mix and match? You can have a cool toned eye with a warm lip. I think it looks cool. I like this makeup a lot. This is exactly what I imagined and more. I would love to know what you think of this makeup tutorial. It's very different for me. I have never done a look like this because I always think it's not as flattering on me as warm looks are. But then, to be fair, I thought the same thing with purples, and purples have grown to be one of my favorite shades of all times to wear on my eyes. Again, I would love to know what you think of this makeup look. I hope you have enjoyed the tutorial. I hope you have enjoyed the tutorial. If you did, make sure to like, comment, subscribe. Thank you so much for watching. You are the best. I hope to see you next time.